Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We want our students back because they're our main priority is our students.
Problems at a student-run cafe are creating a major attention at the Fargo High School. Thank you for joining us this evening. The Nest Davies High School it's teaching students some real-life skills in the kitchen and on the business end. The restaurant had their grand opening just last week.
But this week, students and teachers tell us it's been hectic after being told they cannot serve their menu any longer. A student benefiting from the program called our Whistleblower Hotline, wanting answers, saying it's devastating.
Valley News Team's Nicole Johnson investigates.
We didn't know if we'd be able to open or if we'd even be able to serve anybody.
While preparing for Wednesday's lunch, students in the kitchen got an email from their teacher.
They're not letting us sell to students this week. We need to make a statement. You have friends that want to eat at the Nest. They will need an adult to come and purchase their meal for them.
To stay up and running, the Nest will have to pull their menu because they aren't meeting federal guidelines. That means somewhere around 600 calories a meal, no more dessert, and nutrition facts must be printed on the menu.
We want to get a feel of what it's like in an actual restaurant, and not every restaurant goes by nutrition guidelines.
While Wednesday's email says one thing, Fargo Public Schools Superintendent says another.
So when our director told the principals and the teachers that they need to be following that, there was some miscommunication there as to what they could or couldn't do, and there were people thinking we were shutting the program down. No, we're not.
Why didn't you know about the regulations before the program kicked off?
They knew about the regulations. It's just a matter of did the people working with the programs do a good job in making that transition? And so that's what they're looking at now, is how can we make that transition a little bit better? So yeah, it's just I think some misunderstandings.
He says it's getting tougher to serve food that kids like.
Maybe the regulations have gone too far, and that somehow, somewhere, the people who are making these decisions need to reconsider and maybe back up a little bit.
A lot of people depend on school food for being their actual meal because they don't get fed at home. And so seeing the portion sizes of the school food go down, it affects a lot of the students that rely on school food because they're not eating enough to keep them good for the rest of the day. Nicole
Johnson, Valley News Live.
Superintendent Schatz says despite what others say, the Nest will continue to be open and serving food to students. Well, if you do need help uncovering any issue in your community, call our Whistleblower Hotline. We'll do our very best to get to the bottom of it. Call 701-237-6576, and then a member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work exposing the truth for you.
I don't think anyone misses the strong winds, but we could be seeing some light snow. Let's go to Hutch Johnson now for the latest on when we might be expecting that. Hutch?
Well, as we take a look at what's going on across our area, we are seeing some light snow, as very light, in and around Grand Forks County, Griggs, Steele, and Trail counties as well. From time to time, northern Cass, some flurries making their way through. By and large, this is not accumulating, but certainly those north winds that have been persistent at about 25 to 30 miles per hour throughout the day, driving clouds and cold air into the valley. The time-lapse showing it's been a brisk day. Your planner for tonight, temperatures slipping into the 20s. It looks like a cold one with decreasing wind. I'll have details on some warmer weather and some snow in the forecast for the weekend. I'll have details on both of those here in a few moments.
Everything balances out.
It does.
All right, thanks.
University of North Dakota police officer Jared Broughton has been cleared of any wrongdoing for shooting a man after a high-speed chase. The man who was shot is David Elliott of Grand Forks, and he's still recovering from gunshot wounds in Minneapolis. But now he's being charged with reckless endangerment and fleeing. Elliott was shot as many as 6 times in the parking lot at All True Hospital back in February after leading officers on 2 separate high-speed chases. Court documents filed today say one officer was reaching inside Elliott's truck to grab his keys when Elliott accelerated his truck into a sheriff's deputy's truck.
His office, it appears that Officer Broughton was in fear for other officers' life in the vicinity.
Of being struck by the vehicle?
Correct.
Officer Broughton is handling office duties pending the outcome of an internal investigation by UND Police, and Elliott will be brought back to Grand Forks to face charges pending an extradition hearing in Minneapolis.
Investigators say an improperly discarded cigarette is to blame for an early morning apartment fire. Flames were visible on a 3rd-floor deck at the Prairiewood Estates on 16th Avenue South. The fire was confined to the deck. Damage was visible to the railing. The battalion chief says quick-thinking residents were able to dump water on the fire as crews were arriving. Repairs will cost about $1,000. No one was injured.
It's a scam targeting people right here in the Valley and all over the United States. Multiple viewers have called our whistleblower hotline after getting a call or a voicemail about legal action against them.
Now, typically the callers claim that they're from the IRS and say you owe money. And if you don't pay, you'll face jail time. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop investigates how this ongoing scam is transforming.
The IRS scam has targeted nearly 400,000 people so far. And although it's a more talked about scam, people are still falling victim.
And I played the message, and it was this conversation with this gentleman about if I didn't call back at this number quickly, I would be prosecuted.
Daryl said the message was very vague and that the IRS was not mentioned at all.
There was no subject mentioned. That's what really kind of made my, brought my curiosity up about this thing. I was going back in years trying to figure out, well, did something happen that we didn't take care of, but nothing came back to me that nothing made sense.
Daryl and his wife were nervous to call the number back, so they reached out to us to see if it was a scam. So we tried calling the number.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again. 010T.
We'll try again.
Your call did not go through. Please try your call again.
We've tried calling the number that was left for Daryl. It was disconnected, which is different than last week when I called the number and a gentleman said he was from the IRS and I was being sued.
When I asked if it was a scam, he got very defensive and told me to call back later when the IRS was open. I asked where he was located and he said in Washington, D.C. It was 10 a.m. there. It is common for scammers to disconnect phone numbers and use a new one to catch new victims. The BBB recommends people not give out any personal information and to hang up if you think it's a scam.
And just by saying one wrong thing and you could be in trouble.
In Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Keep this in mind. If the IRS reaches out to you about unpaid taxes, they're first going to do it by mail. And to see more tips from the Better Business Bureau about this scam and others, click on this story on valleynewslive.com.
West Fargo has hit an unexpected roadblock. The city wants to complete its Main Avenue reconstruction project, but has no bidders to do the project. Mayor Rich Mattern was surprised to hear about this and worries that a significant amount of outside funding could be lost. The price tag, it's about $18 million. 90% of that is federal and state money will be used by a certain time. The project includes rebuilding 5 lanes of Main Avenue from I-94 to Morrison Street and then replacing the Cheyenne River Bridge.
If you've ever bought a lottery ticket in Minnesota, check your coat pockets, your couch, maybe your car. The Minnesota Lottery is reminding players that a winning Powerball ticket purchased a year ago today has not been claimed yet. If the ticket is not claimed by sometime today, it's going to expire. Now, the winning numbers are 28, 33, 41, 44, 59, and the Powerball's 21. Again, this ticket's worth $1 million. It was purchased in Hennepin County. All unclaimed lottery winnings go to the state of Minnesota's general fund. Also, don't forget, sign up for Valley News Live and weather text alerts right to your phone. You'll get the latest breaking news, weather, and other updates on your mobile device. Head to valleynewslive.com to sign up.
Do you have a lottery ticket?
I don't know, but I think I might go dig in the car seats just in case.
Exactly, just in case. Well, later on Valley News Live at 6, a unique NDSU restaurant serving up plates with fewer calories.
Once again, hairdos across the valley were challenged with gusts over 30 miles per hour in Fargo. Well, it looks like we have some warmer weather on the way. I'll tell you when it arrives right after this.